How do we do basic calculations and change the format in which the answers are displayed in MS Access? So I'm going to use the example we've been using in terms of student info. And here is our report. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on my report, and here my report is brought up. All I'm going to do now is I'm always going to look for view. Okay, and once I click on view, I'm going to go to design view. Once I click on design view, basically that's where I can design my report. Okay, so what would I like to do? I actually want to create a total and an average. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to place it just below identity number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my grid. And once I extend it, it makes it bigger. And all I'm going to do now is where we created a label, and there you will see label. I'm actually going to create a text box. Okay. And once I click on it once, you'll notice that if I draw my text box, two text boxes appear. Do you see that? Text 25 and unbound. So as soon as I want, what you're going to do is you're going to type in text, the actual text, and in unbound, you're going to create the formula. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the unbound box to the right. And as soon as I drag it to the right, you'll notice the text box drags itself with the unbound. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just extend the text box slightly. Okay, and I'm first going to type in the text box, and I'm going to call it total deposit paid. Once I've clicked on that, I'm now going to try and drag it with my 4 arrows, you'll notice. Okay, and there it separates from each other. So now, in order for me to do a calculation, I'll show you how we create the total deposit paid. We use the sum function, okay, or the sum formula. So as you know, in Excel, what do we start the formula with? We always start the formula with an equal sign. So we're going to type in the equal sign, and then we're going to type in sum, and then it will always be a normal bracket first, and then a square bracket, and then the field name. So what do I mean by the field name? What is the field that I'd like to add up? So in this case, it's the total deposit paid. So if you're looking at this is the field name we're going to use in our formula. So we're going to type in deposit paid, and then we're going to close our square with a square bracket, and then we're going to have our normal bracket after that. So once you've typed that in, so it's equal to sum, open bracket, no spaces guys, open bracket, and then the square bracket, and then your field name, in this case it's deposit paid, then the square bracket, and then a normal bracket. So now you've done your total deposit paid. I also want to show you how to create an average. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the AB as well again, and then we're going to draw another text box just below total deposit. And again, I'm going to shift the unbound to the right, just below deposit paid. Okay, and I'm going to use my 4 arrow, and I'm going to drag it over there. Okay, and you'll notice again my text box moves with the unbound. So I'm going to type in the average. So I'm going to type in average. Average deposit paid. That's basically what I want to. And then I'm going to drag my label to the right. Okay, it's looking a bit clamped up, so I'm going to extend it a bit further. Okay, and it's all in line. It's all looking good. So I'm going to just click on the next one and then just make sure that it is in line. And then I'm going to click on my underline. And what do you think my formula will be? Correct. It will be average. So you start the formula with equal. And in this case, we're going to start, we're not going to type in the full word. It's just AVG. AVG, and then again, open bracket. Sorry, it's shift and then 9. Open bracket and then your square bracket. And then you're going to type in, what do you think you'll type in? Correct. You're going to type in deposit paid. Okay, once you type in deposit paid, you're going to have your square bracket and then your normal bracket. And there you've created your formulas. Okay, so now we want to see how does the formula come up. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to view, because remember I told you if you're stuck and you're not sure where to go, the first thing you must look for is view. Okay, so you look for view and you're going straight to, you've been in design view, you're going to go to layout view. When you go to layout view, you'll notice it automatically creates total deposit paid and your average deposit paid over here. You'll also notice there's no rand value, okay, and the comma. So if you want to change the format, what you're going to do is you're going to click on that text box, and you'll right click on it and you'll go to properties. Okay, once you go to properties, a list will come up and you'll notice it says here text 25, which it was the sum, the format. You'll click in the box and you select currency. Okay, once you select currency, you'll notice there the rand value appears and the decimal places is 2 decimals. Okay, the auto here where it says decimal places auto, I think it automatically changed it because it's set to 2. Okay, but if you want to change it, you can change it over there as well. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with average. You'll notice there's nothing over here. So we right clicked and we selected properties, if you remember, and then basically, but because the function is here already, it's already displayed. So basically we're going to click on currency and then it's already at 2. Okay, but if you like to, we can change it to 2 just so that we have consistency. And once you're done, you're welcome to close that property sheet. And there you've done the changing of the formats as well as the calculations. In this series, I actually also wanted to show you how we can automatically create the total or the average. Okay, so this is using the formulas, which is very important to know. But also I see that it's there have been further developments on Access. So there's even an easier way. For example, in the exams, they may just ask you to create the total. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. Okay, so for now, you'll notice it's 4,500. I'm going to actually just delete this over here now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create the sum automatically. And the way we do that is, remember, we either look for view, and in this case, I can't see view. So the next thing that if you're lost and you're not sure where to click, it's either view, like I always say, but in this case, if you don't find view, then please click on where it says report layout tools under design. So when we come into design, you'll notice there's a total function over here, okay, but it's in gray. It's not active. So how do we make it active? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on deposit paid. When we click on it, you'll notice that everything is highlighted, all the values are highlighted, and you'll also see that your totals are highlighted as well, that little function. If I click on the down arrow, you'll notice sum, average, count records, count values, maximum, minimum, and all of those things. Okay, so what I want us to do today is I want to show you how to use that to create the sum. Okay, so what you're going to do is you merely click on the deposit paid in this example, because that's what you want the total to be. You want to find the total of your deposit paid, and you're merely going to click on sum. When you click on sum, you'll notice there's your 4,500. Okay, and once you click on sum, now you can actually create a label and say here total deposit paid. So now you can just merely click on label, which is the capital A and the small a, and you draw it. So you can't do this over here, guys. So you need to go to design view. So we're going to click on view, okay, and we're going to go to design view. Once we click on view design view, you'll notice there is your sum that you calculated using the total function. Okay, and I'm just going to move that slightly to the right. And now you're going to click on the label. So how do we click on the label? Remember, I can't find view, so I've got to look for report design tools under design, and I'll click on the capital A, small a, which is a label, and I'll draw my label, which is in line with the sum. And as soon as I draw my label, I now can type in total deposit paid. Okay, and if I want to go and have a look at my layout, I'll go to layout view, and voila, there's total deposit paid, and there is your total. Thank you, everyone.